That's not the way to be confident in an interview.
I'm looking at how to be confident in an interview despite being anxious and in your 40s.
But think about it, you're middle-aged, you're sitting in an interview, you're trying to come across as being confident, you're smiling, maybe you're forcing it, your voice is tight and your mind is racing. We're looking into research now by Rubin and Hall and Schmidt, and we're going to find out what gives. I'm a best-selling author and a researcher, but first the research, then my takeaway. Another piece of research by McCarthy and Goffin. So let's try to avoid that now and find out how, by linking the articles, we can get the solutions. So you need to match your behavior to the job type. That's most important to start with. So you need to reduce your unnecessary smiling though initially, because authority-driven roles mightn't necessarily want you to be smiling like a clown. Adjust your tone, your posture and your facial expressions to adequately respond to a question and what body language is being mirrored, because we love as humans, be the interviewer to the interviewee, having that mirror networking ability. Control your anxiety as you're doing this before it shows. We will be anxious, hands up, I have been. Practice your interviews though beforehand, allows you to have realistic conditions so that you can see and predict even the anxiety, and throughout then you can use your breathing techniques to simplify and get through it. So structure outside of that, your communication under pressure. Why? Because you need to have clarity. You need to have simple frameworking for answers. Slow down, speak a little bit clearer, give yourself time to think in the background to avoid being rushed or anxious, and focus on clarity over impressiveness. Everybody knows when you go into an interview, and there's others in interviews, and these interviewers are interviewing others throughout the day, that everybody's here to sell themselves, to impress. But slowing down and focusing and being clear, you could be the 1 out of 10. Train your non-verbal awareness too. By recording yourself, for example, beforehand and practicing, it gives you huge insight into how you react to certain questions. You could even trick yourself by getting somebody to ask you the questions and record yourself, or you could make sure the questions come in from a recording using your technology, using AI. They come in at random ways, and so therefore you're reacting like a ball to just strike it as it comes at you. Then try to avoid overcompensating. We often do this. If we don't know something, we could ramble, we could go off on a different tangent. I'm definitely accused of that for sure. And don't default to smiling as, well, I don't know, so why you're asking me kind of thing. Use selective warmth. Start as you mean to go out and be nice at the end. You can smile then and there, marking it, but in between you're very serious. And maintain that seriousness throughout, because if it's a serious position, you need to be on the ball. So if you like this video, please show it with a like and comment, good or bad. We'll have this conversation, we'll learn together. And if you subscribe, carrying on, make sure to reduce your appearance related anxiety. Look, we will be anxious. Everyone becomes anxious at some stage. So if you choose clothing that makes you feel comfortable, okay, you need to be formal. But what are you wearing inside? The comfort that's touching the skin. Prepare grooming and presentation in advance so that you don't leave anything to the last minute. And remove last minute pressures, because you do not need any more pressure that's sapping your energy throughout the day prior to the interview. Reframe your interview anxiety as performance excitement. Treat nerves as readiness, that you're anxious to perform and do it because you deserve this job, and you do. So channel your adrenaline. That is a chemical within our brains that's going to push you into maybe feeling a little bit icky or into focus. Once you can focus, then you can expect pressure coming from the outside, from the people, from the questions, from the interviewers, but you'll be ready for it. Because if you have practiced your storytelling technique, it will also help you, and you use past examples and you have them in your head, and therefore those examples are real. You can just pop them into any questions. If there's generic questions, and there's one thing certain about interviews, is that we cannot predict all questions. So focus on what you do know from your experience, from your skill set, from your education. And this reduces cognitive overload, and therefore the pressure that you will feel in the moment won't be as much, so long as you use the techniques. If you build tolerance to evaluate situations by exposing yourself to more high-stakes conversations in life, and even prior to the interview, it'll help you out. So seek feedback regularly from family, friends, and okay, if they're just kind of critical on your appearance, what you wear, how you brush your hair, how you say things, that's okay, take it. But the specifics of the job, maybe you need somebody like a mentor or somebody that's in the same, perhaps, position in a different company. Reach out to them. Over time, reducing sensitivity to the possibility of certain questions being asked. Don't be afraid to advocate for fairer interview conditions. Structured interviews should reduce bias from anxiety and particular styles. Encourage multiple assessments, methods, and recognize that interviews often measure performance and indeed your ability. My final takeaway is the real problem is not just a lack of clarity, it's the misalignment between who you are now and what your ability is as you appear under pressure. So one study showed that even something as simple as smiling can hurt you if it's used incorrectly. The other shows that anxiety can distort your everything, all the presentation, all of the work you've done in the present.
Thanks for watching. Please like this video. If you subscribe, comment to say that you have, and we'll look after you.